Hello, everybody. Welcome to this weekly outlook. This is Joel Medina, and we're gonna start with the outlook for gold and US dollar, and then we're gonna go to GBP JPY. This is a forex analysis. At the time that I'm recording, it is 8:25 p.m. and I'm gonna just give you a quick overview of what to expect for the long term, obviously, because we're at the beginning of the week. So the structure is still bullish, and we have been respecting. I don't know if you can see, if you can visualize here like a trend line. We can actually see that we're still respecting the structure on the weekly, and we came for liquidity around 1795. That really important zone. Now, on the weekly, we are still bearish. And there's an important thing here about the closure of the candle because it actually closed below 1830, which is a really massive key level for gold. We just closed below it, and we just had a tap into 1835 last Friday. We had a Zoom, and I literally said about the expectation that we may grab liquidity from here, and even if we're gonna like break below here, it would grab from here. Makes sense looking left, right? And I even placed, by the way, whoever was at that Zoom, I actually placed the sell limit. I think it was like something like that. And honestly, I ended up removing it because I don't know, I didn't feel like too good about this area. But look at that, it would have worked out perfectly. But anyways, the structure on the 4 hour. I mean, let's look for the weekly. Sorry, I'm still I'm still like waiting to see this week's expectation for me if I were to look for the buys on the long term, would be if we have this weekly candle visit down here yet again, like 1822 around there. It could literally even come for 1808, and it would be so great if we have like another rejection and a closure. But I think if anything, the most we might visit is yet again like maybe here again, which is around the 1820 area. And if we have that week down and flip and close this week bullish, because we are literally um, 4 days away from closing this month. Look at this, 4 days away from closing the month. So if this weekly candle actually comes, visit, grabs liquidity, closes bullish above 1830, I would be really, really bullish for the next whole week. Right now, we're still in the middle of a correction. It's a little bit uncomfortable to trade corrections because I mean, as a swing trader, not as a scalper. But then we just have to wait to see what price wants to do around here. Now, last Friday I was saying this. I'm gonna repeat it here for this outlook, which is the this typically means an intention wick. Um, Typically, when you have such a break below a strong area like 1820 and you look left, this is literally the zone from where it actually exploded upwards. So it is weird that you have this break below here and still not come down and revisit here. So I was saying Friday, I'm gonna repeat, I'm still kind of like expecting that maybe gold grabs liquidity yet again from here or here before, if we're gonna continue going up. But if we're gonna continue coming down, then obviously, anything that confirms between now that I'm recording this and by the time I wake up tomorrow for the New York session, if I see that London retapped into here by the time I wake up and we're above 1830, then I think I'm gonna just go for the buys. But if we're below 1830, even with London session push and everybody, then most likely sales are gonna be in play, and then I would have to see if we're gonna actually kind of stay here for Monday to prepare for the Tuesday and upwards continuation, or if we're gonna just upward continuation for the monthly or preparation for the monthly bullish structure, or if we're just gonna fall. Because if we fall yet again to 1808, I'm not so sure if this is gonna hold price again, and maybe we fall down to here, but that wouldn't make so much sense fundamentally, to be honest. But it would be perfect, or it would be great if we have that visit down here or here, and then we flip the weekly. Like, that would be perfect if we flip the weekly and we ended up by the end of the week above 1830. So short term, just to finish here, short term, as you can see, daily is undecided, but because of what happened here, but it is mainly bearish still. Look, break of structure, higher low, I mean lower high, I'm sorry, lower high, and still continuation. This is just one bullish candle. You need a second bullish candle to kind of confirm like a support, and we don't have it yet. So still bearish is what I'm trying to say. The 4-hour structure is actually bullish based on this that happened here, 1 and 2 bottom, 1 and 2 double bottom, and then break of the previous structure. So when I have this type of scenarios, I don't try to guess. Either I sell a key level or I just wait for the structure to become clear, because this is obviously undecided. Like, you have a 4-hour bullish right here, which a powerful structure, because a double bottom is really powerful for gold. But then you have a bearish still structure on the daily. So if we don't sell the key levels like I was planning to do, I'm not too excited about doing anything else. Now, if I see another rejection from 1820 zone, or even down here, because for whatever reason we have 4 big wicks down to, this would be 1817. If we yet have another visit and another closure above here by New York tomorrow, I think even from here I might start to really aggressively look for buy entries. Okay, but that's my expectation for gold. So in short, long term, I'm bullish. I'm looking to see when is it that we're gonna have the confirmation for the break above this bearish. You see this trend, bearish trend coming from all the way above there. It was almost at 2,000, and for the continuation of the monthly. But on the short term, we have an indecisive structure on the 4-hour. The daily still not confirmed as bullish, even though I really would like it if we, from here is that we're gonna continue going up. And if you're gonna scalp, I would suggest that wait or buy or sell key levels and rejections on the key levels. You can look for those on the 5-minute. So let's go really quick at GJ. GJ was really nice this right now, because I just closed these 2 entries. It was scalp, and this is beautiful what's going on here. This was just before we started this. I'm actually gonna explain this at the end of the video, but I just had those 2 scalps just before I decided that I was gonna record. Let me go with the monthly. Monthly is bullish. Really nice bullish structure on the monthly for GJ. We do have a major rejection twice so far from this level that previously was support at 167.550. The weekly is also bullish, right? But we're starting the week like maybe forming the week down to continue pushing up, but obviously we cannot tell. This is just barely the beginning of the week. But now we can see clearly, if we draw like an imaginary trend line, we can do it. Actually, doesn't have to be imaginary. Look at this right there. So we do have a bullish still trend coming up. Now the structure on the daily didn't quite break above the previous high, but still is bullish. This is a bullish closure from the previous daily. Now what I did was selling a key level. Well, it was way too easy, to be honest. This is not complicated at all. I should have held like one of those as a runner, but honestly, I wasn't expecting that I was gonna trade Asia, so maybe that's why I didn't even bother to leave a runner. But this is a scalp. I'm gonna explain the scalp. But as you can see, this is a key level at 166.200. Really important key level. Look left. Rejection of a 4-hour structure. Rejection yet again. I mean, you can do this if you want it, right? But that's a rejection. I count that as a rejection because the body closures are down here. This is just for the sake of the zone. They're typically a little bit wide, and here and again here and here again. So this is a bunch of rejections, and the logic for me to sell this, with so much confidence was, even though yes, we grab liquidity from here with this massive 4-hour liquidity grab, but here we had this is New York session pushing up, and you see all of those candles. Look at this. This is New York. That's a really strong session, and typically, if you have such a strong session coming all the way down from here, typically, if this is a strong level, which it is, you see that Asia would actually reject and maybe create like a setup for better entries if it wants to continue the buying continuations during London for the next New York session. So the key area was 166.200. It was simple coming down. The entry was like this. The moment I saw this, when I opened the charts, we were literally just closing this. I remember. So I said, okay, if the next candle, if I see weakness in the next candle, because this is such a strong level, I might either sell this with a limit, which I decided not to do. I just decided to wait for it. And the moment I had this closure was the same as the 30-minute closure, I remember. Yeah. And it closed, even though it closed bullish, I know maybe you're saying, hey, why are you doing this? Well, because this, believe it or not, typically I count this when you have a big wick and a closure way below the zone. I count that as a rejection, even if it is a bullish candle, especially with such a strong area. So I had this first entry was not so aggressive, to be honest. It was a smaller position, and the stop loss was above the wick. And the moment we had, you see this mini structure in the 5-minute, the moment we had this closure below here, then I added the other one, and that was simple. And I closed. I always do this. Everybody that has seen me trade live knows that I actually like to take profits way before I get to the, let's say, the zone, because yeah, I'm used to it now. So that's how I do it. I don't like it when I'm right there. I don't take profits and then it flips for whatever reason. So yeah, that was simple. But to be honest, I would expect this that's going on is actually really good, because if by New York we have another like a confirmed support with the London volume pushing also from here, there's a better, for me at least, this is the way I see it, that would be a nice setup for probably continue with the buys for the higher time frame, because even though 4 hour right now is still bearish, and that's also part of the reasons, to be honest, why I also sold this, because if you look at this, 4 hour is clearly bearish, even though dailies and all of that is bullish. Look at this high. This is a lower high. This is a lower low. And what is this? Key area. And would it make sense to create the new lower high? And yes, it would make sense from here. So, that was part of why I scalped this. Maybe I should have held definitely the runner, but there you go. Now, if we're going to continue coming up, it would make sense to happen around here. Look. And look. So I would actually expect that at 165.550, a rejection from there. Wow, this is falling. Rejection from there would be a nice zone to buy for the continuation upward. So yeah, that's it. I really hope this helps you in some way. And if you want, remember, subscribe, give it a like if you liked this, obviously. And if you like to trade live, whenever I trade live, this month has been really hard for me, but subscribe and activate the notifications, because that way when I go live, then you can come and trade live with me, and you share your ideas. You can listen. If you have like a good trade idea, you share it, and we trade it. I trade live and I lose, I win. I really don't care. Thanks God, I actually win more than I lose when I trade live. But the intention is that we all trade together. We do good. There's enough money out there, in the market for everybody. So subscribe, and yeah, really hope you guys have a wonderful beginning of the week, just as wonderful as I just had this. That's a nice way to start the week, and I'll see you maybe if I go live or for the next weekly outlook. See ya.